Hey, Stay, how's it going?
Adam, pretty good, pretty good. Uh, I'm enjoying my evening. How about you?
Doing well. We're we've we've started looking at like what would it be like if we moved out of our apartment and bought a house in the area. Still not sure if we're gonna go that route, but we're at least like testing the waters of what that would look like, what our budget would be.
That's
So
exciting. How's the real estate market looking on in Salt Lake? Did it calm down? Because I seen that prices might be going down.
yeah, it's I think it's calming down now, like after the summer. A lot of places seem to be still priced at what they were priced at when interest rates were at like 2%.
Mm.
So so a lot of places are staying on the market 40 days, 2 months. And a lot of the ones we've looked at have already started having price drops because they haven't been sold at what they were listed at. So yeah,
Okay.
there's a difference in what sellers think they can get and what buyers are offering right now.
Well, that's good. That's good when you're looking for a house. That's exciting. That's like a big step.
Yeah. So we're cautiously excited about it, but also trying not to rush into anything. Like we really like our apartment. Like having an apartment and just having everything done for us has been so nice.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I'm a fan of apartments as well for that very reason. But the house, I mean, I'm thinking like pretty, a few years in the future, but definitely comes with its perks, especially if you're like in the middle of things. How is Salt Lake like? Is like a suburb? Is there a suburb area and a city center, or what's like the?
Yeah, there's it's kind of a city center. There's a couple of like little communities that are like outside the city center that are like good little walkable areas, with like a cafe, a couple restaurants, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's like a whole lot of residential, and then you'll get one of those every like half mile or so,
Okay,
or
that's a
maybe
pretty good structure. Yeah,
maybe every
that
mile.
sounds, yeah. Sounds like a good like layout of the whole thing.
Yeah. So I would definitely want somewhere where I can like not need to drive on a daily basis. I feel like
Oh yeah.
that's like the thing for me after driving so many years to go to work every morning. I feel like getting up and going into a car to do anything reminds me of going to work.
Yeah, definitely does. And it's one of the huge perks, not having to drive anything anywhere. I live in Europe, so that's pretty much by default in most places here. So
Yeah. Do
definitely,
do you even have a car? Like, would you
No,
even?
I mean it would be
Yeah, you
like
don't need one.
impossible in the city. I mean, in London it was like so expensive. In Paris, I looked it up, and it should be like a bit cheaper, but because they got more parking space, I guess, and it's all like underground. But still, yeah, a pretty solid investment. And here, we got to the city center in 30 minutes just by walking today with a stroller and at the pace of carrying a baby in it. So that's definitely good, I'd say. And we live in like the 19th arrondissement, so it's like you have to cross a canal. It's not like that close, but it's like really packed together.
Yeah, yeah. How far away are you from the Seine if you were just like walk down to there?
I think about like 40 minutes. 40 minutes, especially, it's up a hill here. That's why you get like this view.
Uh,
So when you're going down, that's like very fast. When you're going up, it's a bit of, uh, you're sweating a bit, but that's good exercise.
you could always
So
walk there and take the subway back.
yeah, exactly. That's what we do. Like some of the times, but yeah, sometimes we exercise. But yeah, that's great. That's great. I've been to one of those. I always wanted to get deep dish pizza, and while I was in London, there were a couple of places that I didn't manage to go to. So I finally found a place with, I think it's Chicago style, right? Deep dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of pizza. So I got one, and yeah, it was really good. Kind of like pepperoni, sesame, all that like good stuff.
7 pounds of
Very
cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was more like French. It was like a bit more balanced, I guess. It
Oh,
wasn't like that like dump cheese on. Yeah, it was like pretty balanced pizza. I'm
okay.
guessing they had their own take on it, but yeah, I was very happy that I found that. And
Nice.
yeah, I found lots of bookshops. There are like a ton of bookshops over here. Yeah, I went to a really like artsy one, which is kind of like a cool place. It's in Mare, which is like the cool neighborhood, and it's called OFR Offer. So that has like a lot of art books, photography books, design books, lots of like the coolest magazines, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. Very like
Nice.
good selection of books. Yeah. Plus, I went to a cafe which had like a very nice collection of art books, but like they were so rare. I think the cheapest one was like 80 euros, which is like, I don't know, $100 or something like that. So
Whoa,
yeah,
yeah. Is
but they were good books.
yeah, I know like whenever we've traveled and we're like in another country looking at bookstores, it's always hit or miss like what languages they're in. Like we went to a
Yeah.
bookshop in Korea and their English section was pretty small. Everything else is in Korean. So it was neat seeing like, oh, here's a book I'm reading, but it's in Korean. How's
Yeah.
the language side been?
Lots of books. I mean, if you, most of them are in French. Especially, I got a couple of kids books in French, and I'm reading in French to my kid. But yeah, most of them are in French. The one I told you about is like predominantly English because like all the magazines are in English. uh, when I'm away, yeah, it's the same thing. I usually go to the like design section or illustration section because you're bound to get like very nice visual books, but the actual like books, uh, yeah, those are kind of like I know how to read French, but some of the stuff still like uh, puzzles me a bit. So
Yeah, yeah. I have never read a book in another language than English, so that would be an impressive level of understanding.
yeah, I mean, some of them are pretty like, I mean, I guess the easier ones are okay-ish. I'm always like reading with a phone next to me so I can translate, and it's a good way of learning as well. uh, because I gotta learn like French, like fast forward, as you can imagine. People have been
Yeah,
like nice, which I haven't expected. People have been like really nice. Plus, most of them know English. It's a pretty young neighborhood as well, so everybody can speak like English to a certain degree. But still, it's way better when you do French. Sometimes when you do French and you're like decent, it's kind of like a courtesy, so they start speaking in English. Else, I suspect some of them might not speak in English just to make it like very difficult for you, very awkward.
yeah, man.
Yeah, interesting. It's been an interesting move.
Yep. Uh, well, other than that, what have you been up to on the hardcover side lately?
I've been like slowly chipping away. I've been trying to like convince the AI to like do more iterations on the dashboard, and I managed to. I'll show you a video later on. I managed to implement the add widget, remove widget thing, which
Oh,
is
neat.
working. Yeah, pretty good. I'm struggling like to save the widgets I add to local storage as well, but I think that's gonna be like an easy one if I need to pass it to you because I'm guessing you're gonna have to redo that anyway. um but yeah, that's coming together nicely. I'm out of like for cursor you get a certain number of premium like completions, so
Hmm.
I switched to the like free models, and on the free models they can't code as well, so I have to like do a lot of do more checking than I used to with when I used Claude. Claude is very good for coding. And I
Mm,
heard the one that OpenAI literally released last week, O1, that's like very good for coding, like the mini version. So
yeah.
I'm curious to try that. I might go on their premium plan just to like ship this faster if we can to hardcover readers, see if we can iterate on it.
I could give you a hardcover API key to use in Cursor, and then like I set up O1 in Cursor, and then like used it for a day, and then I went to check how much it cost in the OpenAI API, and it was like 4 cents.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh,
so,
definitely hook me up
so
then. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
because it's all
I would have expected like $20 or something.
yeah, because it's all based on usage, and it's not that much per thing. But I haven't tried any like, here's my entire code base. What do I do? It's always been individual single questions rather than ones
Oh,
that have
okay.
like
Ah,
a ton
yeah.
of tokens.
Yeah, would be interesting to see how it does with the composer mode because I think that counts as multiple tokens. Um, so yeah, we can try it out definitely. Yeah, thank you for suggesting. I if I
Yeah.
we can hook that up, I can definitely try to see how it goes. I've been trying it with the free models, and it's like coding with a very junior developer versus a pretty like mid level dev compared to. So yeah, it's amazing that you can see the difference in quality.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah. Oh, so it was a total of 16 cents for the day for all of my testing.
Wow. Oh, that's good, that's good. Yeah, yeah, we can definitely work with that. It's definitely cheaper than going on the premium plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and also I've been making progress with design. So what I did based on our discussion last time, so to give people a recap, we talked about how we can show stats together with the dashboard, so we can how we can translate stats easily to dashboard widgets, and then how we can separate stats as well. And last time we talked about having stats as facts about your reading. So you've read a certain number of pages, you've read a certain number of books, and then having some stats which are more like insights, which we derive from your usage of hardcover and kind of give you thoughts on what your stats mean. And I guess that separation could be the difference between the stats you get as a free hardcover user and a supporter. So you'd get like all the facts as a free user, and as a supporter you'd get more complex insights and more advanced stats that you can like interpret as your own insights. So yeah, I began doing that, and I've tried to see if I can make the stats have the same structure. So a title in the same place, content in the same place, so that we can like easily adapt them to various sizes and to make building them easier. So that's what I was hoping to make progress on today in Figma.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really curious to see like the visual design of it, because like I definitely like the idea that like we've done so well with like componentizing our app, and so like getting these component building blocks that we'll be able to reuse on stats in the dashboard, and then if we want to change them, we just have like our stat block card, and then that'll change it across the board. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good direction to go.
Yeah, that's I kind of like tried to wrap my head around exactly what you described, putting them into components. But maybe today we can figure out, because you know how the code base works and how it's structured, how if we can like make improvements on that. And yeah, I
Mm,
know you've been working on some big changes in the backend as well. How's that going?
It's going well. I hit like one roadblock I'm still trying to get past, which is uh so I've been working on like what if we move the app from Next.js to Ruby on Rails and Inertia.js. And like overall, like I'm really liking like the development flow of it, like how easy it is to work on things, just being able to use Ruby on Rails queries to query the database, get some content, and then send it over to the front end as JSON. That part's really good. The part that I'm still trying to figure out is like the server side rendering part. So I've gotten it to where, like, let's say you load the index page and it sends down the HTML for the index page and then it rehydrates it. It works just like you'd expect. And you could turn off JavaScript, refresh the page, you'll still see the full page. The problem I'm running into is that it's very hard to debug that when there's a hydration error, because of the way it's built. Like it needs to do so much building ahead of time, and then when you run the page, it compares like the tree structure that was generated through SSR with what it sends down to you when it rehydrates it. And so I'm trying to figure out a good way to debug that so I can just get to the bottom of like errors that coming through. Like it'll say like the code that was shipped down doesn't match the code that was on the server, so it can't rehydrate it in a way. And so trying to figure out what the difference is and what I need to change to make it is what I'm still working through. From what I can tell, one of the most common things are like, you format a date with the user browser's date settings, and so it's going to be different than what was done on the server. Or you do something that's like uses the window object, and then that ends up having a different result if it's done on the server versus on the client's browser. So I'm still trying to get to the bottom of those errors, and I don't want to get too deep on like going wide across the site until I've gotten like one or two pages working 100% perfectly, because otherwise I'm going to spread those errors across the rest of the site.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's where it's at now, but it's coming along.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. And hydrating basically means that the stuff that you see on your screen as a reader basically has, so if we're showing like a number of books you've read, basically that has to match with what you get on the server. Or if you set the dates, yeah, basically that's what we have to do on the server, and they have to match.
Exactly. And
Nice.
And one of the tricky parts with that is what was rendered on the server for each request might be a little bit different if it takes into account like changes the user has made from the beginning of their session. Like, they're on the third page of their session. Maybe they've added a couple books to their library and now they're on that third page. When we load that third page, I'm trying to figure out how to get it in a way where it will rehydrate successfully when it has maybe different data that was fed by the user over those first 3 pages, or if they did a full refresh. So to be determined, but that's I think once I figure out some of these SSR related issues, then it's just going to be easy going on a lot of the migration from Next.js to Rails. Aside from like recreating the open graph images, that's something I haven't looked into how I'm going to do in Ruby, but I know it's possible, but it probably won't be as easy as Next, but we'll see.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, those are like one of the things I actually wanted to ask about, but I'm guessing, we'll find a way to do that.
Yeah.
The open graph, yeah, images are pretty easy to do in Next.js.
Yeah. And as a stopgap, we could always just like keep the Next.js site going on Vercel and then only use it for open graph images until we migrate those off or something like that.
Oh yeah,
So,
okay, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I didn't know we could do that, but
yeah.
good to know. Yeah, man, this stuff is like so complex, and it always like baffles me how
Yeah.
like tangled web development is. Just to ship some info about books to someone.
Yeah. And
Nice.
I had a question for you about composer mode and cursor and using
Yeah.
that. I was wondering if you'd be down for like sharing my screen and I could like kind of get your thoughts on how you might approach a problem in cursor specifically.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Great. We can do that. I'm guessing, let's start with stats. I can show you what progress I've made with the actual actual stats. So
Yeah.
dum bada boom. So uh this is like what everybody has seen in the last sessions. So there's your minimized profile header, there's the nav bar with the stats tab, and then you go to this like overview, which in the background can, or we can decide about this later, if we should show an image that's related to your like most read genre in that period. I'm not sure about this, but we can leave it for now as TBD, or we can remove it. But yeah, I just left it there.
Yeah. I like something up
So
there.
yeah, it looks good. Plus, I'm guessing, it will look like very nice when you share it on Instagram, and people might, wonder, oh, look at this. This is a very nice cover. And in the long term, when we actually get artists to contribute photos for each genre, I'm guessing, it would be like a very, very good place to maybe credit them and highlight who has this been made by. So maybe cover by artist name could go somewhere on here. I think that's a pretty nifty thing we could do to make some, you know, um, a popular reference. I mean, popular, give people credit for this genre image. Again, would have to actually wait for artists to submit, which hasn't happened so far. But who knows? I think there might be artists out there who want to illustrate the genre. And then basically I was thinking about this structure. So each of these components basically would have a title. It would have this little thing which could be a menu like this. So I was thinking this could either for like, this is not valid for these. So this would basically be for this, not size, but sharing, removing, or like other actions that we want to associate stats with. Here is
Yeah.
kind of like an
Add
open,
to
yeah,
dashboard.
add to dashboard. Yeah, that was it. I was trying to figure out like add to dashboard. I was trying to
And we,
figure out.
and we might not need remove here, but we could use
Yeah.
remove on the add to dashboard version.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is like the add to dashboard version. So this is the dashboard version. Just put
Mm-hmm.
it here. Sorry, it might be confusing. So let's put like a plus circle here. And did we have anything else to put in there, or is it just like share that to dashboard? I remember something, but I couldn't like figure it out when I was doing these.
No, I think on the stats page, those are the ones that make sense to me.
Okay, then I'll just
Mhm.
leave them here so we know. So for these, I'm just gonna go through them so you can see like how they're different and how they're similar. So basically, I think the only different thing would be the actual content, and I wasn't sure how to approach it. So for instance, if we want to have some covers featured here and a graph in one stat and another graph in the other, maybe it would make sense to have like this whole like content area as like a component that's like basically is a children of like the main component. But I think a good question would be, what else can we make like common to all components. So to all stat images like these, apart from the title and the actions.
Yeah, maybe some indicator if it's a supporter only one or not. Or
Okay.
I guess if it's not a supporter only one, then we wouldn't need anything. But if it is a supporter one, some kind of indicator.
We could have like a badge or like a footer, like you said last time. Wait, not that.
And another kind of related one is a link to some place to fill in missing data for it. That's one of the things that's come up on our current stats page, where it's like you've read, 100 books, but we're only able to calculate out 87 of them because the other 13 don't have a page count. And so if there was some way to quickly link people to a list of their books that were missing that data for them to update, that would be that would be very useful, both for us to get the data and for them to
data.
quickly have a way.
Would you think like just a link if it's missing data? Add missing data at like or complete. No. How should like the action be named?
It could be like 14 books missing data. And then that could just be a link or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe just missing data from 14 books. And then the 14 books would be like a link.
So basically something like this, right?
Yeah, it could be something like that.
Okay, this is looking good. Should we add like some people might not know what this is about. So if we had a tooltip, could we say like this sometimes we're not able to display, or it's not about that, to calculate, to
Yeah, it's like maybe it would be more like add missing data to these books and we'll include them in your stats.
To include these books in your stats, please add missing data. And what kind of data are we talking about here? Is it like the cover data, or it's actually like the read dates, right?
It'll depend on the widget. Like for this one, the you finished one, I don't think we would ever have it for this specific one because this one you finished is completely dependent on finishing the books. So I think that one would be complete either way. But for like this next one for pages read, that one
Okay,
would be
yeah, let's
like
put it here.
certain books we don't have the pages, so we can't calculate it.
Yeah, this is good. So let's add the tooltip.
What if this was like over here too, like to the left of it somewhere?
This is just like this one. Okay. Please, maybe we should make it contextual. So if it's like the tooltip on this one, it should be reading dates, or please add is it reading dates, or
this would be like page counts and audiobook lengths.
And, yeah. Minutes. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like the idea that like if you're scrolling on this on your phone, like each one of these cards is taking up the full height. Is that kind of what you were
Yeah.
thinking too?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this should be like a full mobile height for most mobile screens. Let me quickly grab like an uh, iPhone PNG so that we can put it there. So basically, what this would be like. Whoa, give me this. Here we go. So yeah, basically, like this would be your phone, and
Mm-hmm.
this would be like the thing plus the header, but basically the header auto hides. So we're also taking into account, phones that are maybe shorter. So yeah, I think this is a good. It should be like 500,
Yeah.
a good height.
Yeah. We could even scroll snap it as people scroll down from widget to widget.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah, like we did on the You're in Books page.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, this one I followed your lead. So basically, this would be like the aggregate, and this would be like the pages read. But I'm not sure if for people who listen to audiobooks, we should actually make it into or make another section that is focused on minutes. So you have this view, and you have the, uh, you know, listened versus
Right. It's
yeah.
it's like yeah, because there's effectively like three lines, really, aren't there? There's a line for pages read, there's a line for audiobooks read, and the line for
Mm-hmm.
both of them combined. So
Yep.
maybe we could just add another third line to this one of
Yeah.
audio
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So
And
maybe we should make it another color or that or huh?
yeah,
So let's see.
so
It's
yeah,
not accurate at all.
yeah.
So
But the idea is that the your read pages and your listened thing should add up to that third line.
yeah, exactly. It's not adding up. This is a
But
mess, but anyway.
that's the idea. I think that chart shows a lot of information all at once, and I like
Yeah.
how it lets you compare your read plus your listened books in a neat
Mm-hmm.
way.
That would be like if we pull that off, that's gonna be like really nice. And maybe when you hover over it, maybe it could highlight the actual line. I think we do that on some of the charts we have in the stats. So this is basically gonna be a tooltip, and yeah, it's gonna show different things depending on which line or point you hover.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah. And this basically, so whenever there's a number, I put it here, but I'm guessing, the other areas are gonna have to be custom to the component depending on, so let me remove this.
Yeah, yeah. I like yeah. I think it's looking good. I think we'd probably need some kind of like X and Y axis to see some kind of indicator, even if it's only like even if it's just like a number amongst like one of these, so that there's
Yeah,
something.
that's true. So can we make this so that it's contextual? So for instance, this is no, it shouldn't be 200. This is 400. And this is 100 maybe. So just
Yeah.
make it focus on, so it doesn't start from zero every time. So for instance, we wouldn't have like a chart looking like this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people do because
Yeah.
the bottom axis is basically their lower boundary, and you might want it to have or yeah, if someone has had a month where they were at 0, then it's going to have a ton of variance. But if they read between 400 and 500 pages every period, then it's just going to be a straight line.
Yeah. I mean, so for some people, it might end up like this. I guess this is like the chart you were describing. So maybe we
Yeah.
can, yeah, let's see how people use this, because it might not be the case. I mean, maybe we're just like overthinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the actual points, I'm guessing this would vary depending on what you select here. So if it's by year, so if it's like 2024, it's gonna be months. If it's like all time, maybe it's years, but
Yeah. Yeah.
with a few points in between. Can we actually do that?
I guess it depends on how many years. Because
Yeah.
if they have 20 years of history versus if they have 2, we would probably uh, extrapolate it out so there's a minimum number of points. So like
Mm-hmm.
there's always at least 10 points or whatever.
Okay, that sounds good. If we can do that, that's great. That's what I was thinking, but
Yeah.
yeah.
One one thing I was thinking is like this supporter feature, like if we wanted some indicator, like if a stat is a supporter feature, and if it's not, maybe we give them like a blurred thing, something like some kind of, we need some kind of upsell in that case.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably need like
Yeah.
2 states, one where they've paid for a supporter feature, or maybe 3 states. One, let me write this down. So we have
Yeah.
like a state for um, um, owner looking at their stats, indicating that it's a supporter one. Um, I guess supporter owner, and then we have a free owner looking at their stats, CTA, call to action to upgrade. And then we have a free reader or a guest user looking at stats of someone who's a supporter. And you would be able to see someone else's supporter stats, but you wouldn't be able to see your own supporter stats.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I was thinking for blurring, we could just like maybe on some parts of it, I mean the essential parts, we could add something like this, but yeah, actually blur the actual thing so you can't like remove it in CSS.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't
Uh,
be with real data. It would be with like placeholder data.
oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, would something like this work? Maybe a CTA like become a supporter
Oh yeah.
or just a link.
Yeah.
Well, maybe something like this.
Yeah. Or we could just say like, yeah, become a supporter to see advanced stats. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
it's one of the many
exactly.
things that it is, but
Yeah, I mean, this is looking good. And blur it even further. Wow.
so this would be when you're looking at your own stats and you're not a supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking when you're looking at someone's page and they're a supporter, maybe we can. I mean, you're not gonna, or you are gonna see this. Yeah, you are gonna see this little header. So, oh yeah, you can actually like see their supporter over here. So I'm thinking, if we make this so that it sticks to the header of the page somehow. So if you screenshot it, it's this person's profile. Maybe we can like so it's something like this. Boom.
Mm.
and you're basically seeing their profile.
I see. It's like it's like the header that sticks around, but we're also thinking about making the date selector stick around.
Yeah, so it would have like the header and the date. So maybe, I'm guessing this could work. Or, should we include like the username in the actual title or in a header for each stat? I'm guessing that would be like a bit repetitive, right?
Yeah, it seems like that would be repetitive.
Or we can just leave it like this, because when you enter their page, you can see they're a supporter, and basically what we'd wanna achieve is for you to see that this is a stat that's advanced, and you can unlock it, or you can see it if you're a supporter. So maybe we can just like put a little badge here, supporter stat.
Yeah, that's one way of
If
doing it.
or like
And so
at the
if
bottom.
you're a free user and you're looking at someone's stats who is a supporter, we would make it clear that the reason you're able to even see the stat is because this person is a supporter. So it's like, how
Yeah,
do we need to make sure people know that, like, well, I guess it could be either that you're a supporter or that that person's a supporter.
yeah, exactly. If they're a
So
supporter, you're gonna see their supporter stat, because we like take the time to calculate that because they're a supporter. If you're not a supporter, you're gonna see that this is a supporter stat, and basically we can make this a link so that you can become a supporter if you want. Because if you'd go, let's say you're browsing Jenna's like profile, and you see, oh, this is a cool stat, and you go to your profile, and you basically see that you have to become a supporter to see that. I'm guessing that's like pretty clear. I mean, the goal
yeah,
here is to not make it confusing,
yeah,
uh, and have people ask, oh, why am I seeing that? Why don't I have this?
yeah. And if you're a free user and you're looking at another free user's profile, it just wouldn't even show up on that other person's profile. I think we could
Yeah.
only have this show up on your profile when you're looking at it. So,
Mm-hmm.
so like whenever you're looking at any other profile, all you see is filled out data.
Yeah,
No other things.
that sounds good. Yeah, we're just not gonna show it, and if they're a supporter, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I think this works. I mean, the other the other I did kind of also like it up here when
Over
you had
there.
it up there. But then again, it's like the first thing you see, which I don't think it needs to be the first thing you see.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it is. I mean, we can leave it there. We can play around with the positioning, but I don't mind it there. It's a
And
pretty nice
yeah,
notification.
yeah. I guess the other option is kind of like with this one where we have like this like bottom row. If there's
Oh
like
yeah, we could do that.
a bottom
It's,
row, and this is
yeah,
like um
for stat.
yeah, it's kind of like in a footer, and maybe maybe there is a question mark or something like that that is,
Yeah,
or it could be in the button for
we could make the button a link and maybe have it there, or yeah, let's like for consistency purposes. Oh wait, this actually has an icon. Here we go. It's a circle question. Oh, okay. So, why is that icon so small? Scale to X. No, okay. It's like smaller than that. Okay. Let's just leave it like that. And maybe this like opens the tooltip and it says if you want to see the stat on your profile as well, uh, become a hardcover supporter. And maybe here we can like make this into a link. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, the one thing that's tricky to me is when I see this, it looks like it's a button that takes me somewhere already.
yeah, true. Maybe it's best to not make it into like so we can maybe take the it's just like a button and maybe we can have the tooltip here for this one or mm,
So, yeah, I'm thinking about it like, there's going to be two cases. One where you're a supporter and you're looking at this page and you want to indicate that this is a supporter thing, but you don't need the CTA to go to the supporter page because you're already a supporter.
yeah.
And in that case, we just need to some kind of badge that's not clickable. But if you are a free user, that's when we need the CTA.
Or we can do this and this is just a link and
Mm,
it's pretty like self-explanatory that
yeah.
hmm?
One thing that is kind of interesting to me is like the idea that there's like this bottom part, instead of having this be a different color, like with a badge, maybe the entire bottom part has like some slightly different color, not like completely yellow, but like some other
Yeah, let's try that. Maybe it can be like this is like the regular color, so maybe we can make it like 0, 0. Oh,
yeah, exactly, with the
so that
square tops and rounded bottoms, so
yeah
it still looks like the natural footer, just it's
nicely
a
blends in.
yeah, that way we can have a free user footer color and a paid user footer color.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Let's see. So maybe we can make this like primary, and this would be like a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking this
Yeah.
a
I
little
think
bit.
I think we'll also sometimes need this like missing data part in the footer though.
Yeah, we can
It's a
just
little
like do this, so
hmm, yeah, oh
it
yeah, that
just
could work.
like adds to the whole height of the thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because then we don't need this part to be in a different color than
Yeah, it's just like a small like nudge.
yeah. And we could even do what if this bottom color was like a slight gradient? Well, I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, definitely.
I'm split on that because I think it can look good, but it can look overdone too.
Well, let's see. I'm also like I'm going back and forth between gradients as a style choice for the site, and like I made it a gradient with the same freaking color. Let's see. Um, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did like a better solid than
Yeah,
with these.
usually, yeah, that's my conclusion. Like most of the times, just like using different colors for like yeah, it looks a bit cleaner. Just using different colors and tweaking the contrast between those usually like has better results.
Yeah. I
Good,
do like
good.
this colorful chart on Letterboxd. But this is using color for the chart itself as opposed to uh the
Oh yeah,
background.
the actual yeah, I mean, we could make like gradient charts. I showed you like there's this example from that chart library I've been looking into. I mean, we're probably not gonna use it, but it's got a good example. Let me paste it. Paste it down. Shads, yeah, charts. Uh, it's got a pretty nice gradient chart. Let me just fetch it from here. So good the stuff like this,
Mm-hmm.
or like this for bar charts. That could definitely work.
Yeah. Yeah. Those just I do like those.
Yeah, they're looking like. I mean, for this one's a really colorful one, so it kind of like clashes a bit because these are like the colors we use for the actual button colors. So this is for actually this is for ones to read, right? So it's yellow if you want to read it. It's what do we have for reading? Is it like the indigo?
I think it's like a green. It's like a light. I think we like have a same like a different color green for currently reading and red, like
Ah, okay.
a lighter green for reading and then a darker green for red.
Okay. I'll have to double check on those. But yeah, kind of like this. It's looking nice. Those colors match. Yeah, so this is like the library status breakdown, and I'm guessing we can use it for the genre breakdown as well. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. And I just put the profile picture of the person whose stat it is because I was thinking it could play well when people are sharing it. So if this is your stat and you're sharing it, you're gonna it's gonna be nice to have like as much personalization here. That's why I've made these read like you've read this amount of pages. So when people share it, the thinking was, okay, this person read like this amount of books. I'm not sure if it's better to do this or just
Username red.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jenna reads read like
Yeah.
this
Or if we did.
or with the nat.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Or,
mean,
or we do a tiny avatar at the top and say like full byline.
it could be, especially if
Then
yeah,
yeah.
if we like make the scroll snap. Uh, let's put this in a like really tiny avatar and basically bring it to the front. I mean,
It does like it does. Yeah, maybe it's like that if you're looking at someone else's profile, and if you're looking at your own, it's like you read.
yeah, yeah. But I'm thinking like if you'd want to share it so people
Yeah,
see.
that's true.
Uh-huh. LinkedIn has like this thing where you can see your profile as a visitor. So or you can just log out. Yeah, you can just log out. You wouldn't get access to the supporter features if you're a supporter though, if you're logged out. So maybe we can just leave it like this and
Yeah,
I mean
I
it's
think
pretty obvious to you if this is your username that
yeah,
it's your reading.
yeah. I think this is very shareable. Like so,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you did share, yeah, I'm even thinking like for
If
like
you
a
share it, maybe, yeah.
if there's like a v0 of this, what the sharing option would do? Because like in an ideal world, it would generate an image and you would be able to share that, or it would like allow you to like share it straight to Instagram story. Like, you know, just click a button and it's on your Instagram story.
Yeah, maybe we can just like remove this since it has only two options. And I mean, you're gonna screenshot it if it's like full length. I'm thinking, that would be like the easy way to ship it for us as well. So we don't have to generate that image. So this
Mm.
thing basically, like if you screenshot it and you just screenshot like this part, you know, that's like shareable. Maybe even the missing data would,
It would be
maybe,
incentive to fix your data before you share.
yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. That's good.
And hopefully, like that'll go down to nothing as there's more book data in our system too.
Yeah, yeah. This is looking good. I mean, even if it's like this, you can always like crop it to whatever
Yeah.
you want, and you're gonna have like a nice shareable image of this whole
Hmm.
thing. So maybe we can remove this, and if it's a stat that you'd consider adding to your dashboard, maybe we can uh, mark it available for dashboard, because last time we talked about how not all stats would be available on your dashboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, yeah, this all you would have on your, like, hmm,
Yeah.
we could like have like an icon here that, hmm.
Yeah. And I bet this footer part would only show if you're viewing your own stats too.
Oh
Because
yeah, that's true. Yeah, plus dashboard. If we just do this, would it be like, or what we could do is like up top, or maybe here we could have like a share view that basically hides all of these elements. I don't know, just like a,
yeah, I
so
think I
this would be
think
like,
yeah,
hmm, or not.
yeah.
What do you think? Should we just like keep the ellipsis here? And I mean, if you want to screenshot it, this wouldn't like bother you, and you just
Yeah,
like,
I think the ellipsis there is good.
or
But yeah,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
was thinking, what if you click the ellipsis, like, click on share and then it hides it, but then, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Sorry.
Mm, yeah.
Any other
Um,
ideas on how we could do it?
um, yeah, I'm not sure. I think I think like penciling it in to be behind the ellipsis is the most flexible. And then as we start figuring out sharing, we can probably talk to some people about how they would actually share it. I feel like that's kind of the missing piece is that we haven't like talked to specific people who are like, oh, I want to share this here because we haven't shown them the thing yet. And so once we show them the thing, then we'll understand like where they could share it and how they would share it. Oops, I think my internet might have died.
What? Mhm. Okay, I think add dropped off, and we're near that time. So Okay, I think internet went haywire. Okay, I'm just talking to him on Discord. Let's see if he rejoins. But I think, yeah, he's saying it's not coming back. So we're pretty much at time. So our build session, I think we can end it there. It's been like a really fun one. When did that hour go by? So I guess next steps for us would be to basically advance with the work we've been doing now. Um, we've got a pretty good mm, base on the dashboard as well. So I think next time we're gonna still be doing that. And yeah, I guess see everyone next week. And thanks for watching Hardcover Live number 59. Have a good evening and see you later. Bye bye. Okay.